Welcome to Beauty Wellness Hair Care. This is a preview from our hair color masterclass. There is a perfect blonde hair color to complement every skin tone. And in this client, we have delivered the most beautiful level 8 dark bronze blonde hair color. This client prematurely grayed. In the past, we would lift her and tone her to a platinum blonde, but the whole short platinum blonde look is becoming overdone, and we really wanted to give her a more youthful look. We wanted a hair color to warm up her complexion and give her an overall glow. Her hair color is a natural level 1, and now she is 80% gray white. Typically, the process of hair color graying is the process of the diminishment of hair color pigments. The pigments are formed in deep within the follicle, the melanocytes, and over time, they just don't produce as much pigment. So throughout the hair growth cycle, the amount of pigment in the hair fiber is less and less. And although the hair looks gray, what it really is it's translucent. It lacks any type of pigment. And you'd think that the lack of pigment would make it really easy to formulate and change the color of gray hair. But no, 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 no. What we get into in the hair color masterclass is that eumelanin is still in the hair. Even though she's gray, we still have to formulate for a natural level 1, and this is a double processed blonde. In order to eliminate the pigments in the cortex layer, the bleaching agent has to penetrate the cuticle layers, the epicuticle layer, then you have the exocuticle layer, and you have the endocuticle layer. The alkali causes the cuticle layers to swell, and the bleaching product can enter into the cortex layer where the pigments reside. And what the bleaching agent does is it oxidizes the color out of the pigment cells. The cells don't actually go away, but the color is eliminated. The second part of the double process blonde is the toner, and the toner affects the cuticle layers, the exo, the endo, and the epicuticle layer. We use bond builders to go into the cortex layer and rebuild or add any broken disulfide bonds, and the hair color toner sits on the cuticle layers, the epicuticle layer, the endocuticle layer, and the exocuticle layer. Because toners sit on top of the hair's cuticle layers, they are translucent and they are temporary, very fragile. What they really do is they tone. That's why they're called toners. They can eliminate brass, they can eliminate yellows, they can give you that really cool, beautiful blonde. Our hair color pigments are created in each individual hair fiber. So because of that, the color and tone is varied. And as I stated before, our hair growth is a process. And during that process, our hair color pigments are formed and deposited or added to the hair fiber as it grows out. So the color of the hair at the very tips is different from the color of the hair in the mid shaft, and it's different from the color of the hair at the base coming right out of the bulb. So the color of hair, the pigment of hair gradually reduces. That's what going gray is. It's the reduction of our natural hair pigment. And it's my experience that when the pigment leaves the hair, it takes something with it. The hair becomes gray hair, white hair is very wiry, and it becomes coarse and it becomes resistant. So on this client with her hair color, we dropped some keratin on top. We wrapped her hair in keratin solution all keratins are not created equal. There are some keratins that are for straightening. There are some keratins that add coil, and all keratins add nourishment. You just have to know what type of keratin to use and when to use it. We dried her under an Ionic hair dryer, and we finished with some Nourishing Lipid Serum. And I know folks are like, what is this Ionic hair dryer thing all about? Well, that's the kind of information we get into in regards to textured hair in our master classes. Whenever you're penetrating the cuticle layers, yes, there are many cuticle layers, and you're going into the cortex layer to affect change, what you're doing is you're breaking and rebuilding various bonds. There's hydrogen bonds, there's salt bonds, there are disulfide bonds, we have pigments that we're dealing with. So when you're reforming the hair, when you're reforming it into its new state, you want to use ionic atoms to complete the state change. Enough about class. Look at her hair color. Look how her hair color causes her complexion to glow. She is rocking a Quo Vadis haircut. We wrapped her with a keratin solution. We dried her under an Ionic hair dryer, and we dropped some Nourishing Lipid Serum on top. We have all the tools you'll need to take your client to this beautiful level 8 bronze blonde hair color. Come visit us at beautywellnesshaircare.com.